There it is. There's what? I asked. The book you were looking for, he replied. I couldn't believe it. He was right. It was literally right in front of us, placed in the wrong aisle, out of alphabetical order, and in the completely wrong genre. It sat on a shelf, almost as if it was waiting for us to find it. We all teared up. Whether it was a literal miracle or just a happy accident, the magnitude of the moment was felt by all of us. Rose actually chuckled as she reached out and took the book in her hands. I feel like God sees me. Meeting you all, holding this book, I feel for the first time he sees me, she said, between laughs and sobs. As we left the bookstore, I asked Ryan what prompted him to start the conversation with her. He said, she was just standing in the grieving section, and my heart felt for her. I know Rose's feeling when she said she felt lost. I'm sure you do too. Perhaps it's what led you to pick up this book. In fact, you may be in a bookstore yourself right now, standing in the grief section, overwhelmed and unsure where to start. Somehow, you've stumbled across this book, and I'm incredibly glad you have. As I've navigated my own journey with grief, two central questions have guided me. Why do we do what we do? And what do we do when life does what it does? In researching the first question, I began taking notes that eventually led to my book, The Thing Beneath the Thing, What's Hidden Inside and What God Helps Us Do About It. The second question has taken me a long time to unravel, and yet it was precisely the arduous process of going through my own grief that helped me write this book. What you hold in your hands is my best effort to discover what we do when life does what it does. Some of the stories in these pages happened recently, and some happened a long time ago. This in and of itself is an example of the complex and concentric nature of grief. I wrote Grieve, Breathe, Receive for many reasons. I needed to write it for myself, to honor my grief, name some of the pain, and share more of my story with the world, hoping it might help others heal. Some parts are specific to my journey, stories about wounds I've tended, lies I've wrestled to the ground, breakdowns and breakthroughs. Other parts I wrote with you in mind. I know what it is like to be at the end of your rope. I know how it feels when it seems like everyone else's life keeps spinning while you're stuck in the quicksand of your sorrow. I know that sensation when you want to be well but don't know how to get there. While there is no perfect way to go through a season of pain and the subsequent grief that follows, there are tools we can access to aid us on the journey. In the Christian tradition, the Holy Weekend represents the Friday Jesus was executed on the cross. Saturday is the day between the grave and the resurrection, and Sunday is the day of newfound hope. We can look at Grieve, Breathe, Receive, GBR, through a similar lens. In Grieve, on Friday, we can face the shock that comes whenever we encounter loss, change, tragedy, and unexpected disruption. In Breathe, Saturday, there is space, a time to try and make sense of the readjustment, disorientation, and confusion. This requires slowness and patience as you find your way through the grief. In Receive, on Sunday, we learn what it means to experience surprise, to realize a fresh hope that enables us to begin again, to evolve, and to embrace the possibility that exists in our tomorrow. This is what I call the GBR journey. I hope you will feel less alone as we begin this journey together through these words. I hope you will feel seen by God and others in rich and profound ways in the midst of your ache. Whatever has brought you to this moment is the catalyst for your healing as you find your way through your grief. Perhaps it was the loss of a loved one, or the end of a relationship. Maybe it was the death of a dream that brought you to this book, or the shock of a diagnosis you didn't see coming. You may be here because you're exhausted by chronic pain or mental health struggles. You might not even be able to name the why, and that's more than okay. We don't need to qualify or justify our grief. We need to honor that we're here. And I want you to know that the pain that appeared unexpectedly on the doorstep of your life, whatever it might be, is not the end of your story.